Hi replay viewers, hi to those joining me. Hi, I'm in the old city of Jerusalem, in the Jewish quarter, and we have a little bit of history here. Hi there. If you watched Solange's scope from the Damascus gate, you'll notice I said that it met up with something the other side of the old city, and that's this. This is what Solange's scape of the Damascus gate in the time of Jesus would have, or just after the time of Jesus actually, would have met up to this area here. This is the Roman Cardo, and a Cardo is a road that goes right through the heart of the city. That's where we get our word cardio from, heart. So the Cardo in any city is one that goes right through the heart of the city and out to the other side. And you're looking at what's left of the Roman Cardo, where you can see an archway into a sort of a tunnel down at the bottom. It actually goes further, but there won't be any possibility of scoping down there because of the signal. So this is probably the best place to scope about it from. But it does go quite a way under the shops that are beyond there. So interesting little place. Hi Solange. Hi Tel Aviv. Who's in Tel Aviv? You're a Christian. I'm a Christian too. Solange, I was just saying that this is the Cardo, and the Cardo, this dates back to Byzantine Roman era. I believe it was built around the time of the fall of Jerusalem, from the 70 AD onwards, so just after that. So it wasn't quite around at the time of Christ, but not long afterwards, from what I gather. And just saying, Solange has, yeah, Cardo it's called, but yes, it's related to the word cardio. It means heart, and in Roman times there was always a street called the Cardo Maximus, and it ran from one side of the city through to the other, and this is one end of it. And where Solange scoped from at the Damascus gate, it went to the other side of it. So I'm exactly on the opposite side of the city from where we were this morning with Solange. Is the falafel shop still right where I am? I can do a 360 round and we can look for it. I'll tell you what is here. A beautiful jacaranda tree that's gorgeous blue. Lovely palm trees, aren't they gorgeous? And nice little cafe. And the Pizza Cardo Cafe. Not sure about falafel. Where's your falafel shop? Might be down there, of course. Okay, so that was a 360 all the way around. Now, what else can I tell you about it? You can see arches there. The little shops used to be within the arches, of course. So this used to be the main shopping area. The cafe was the falafel stand 25 years ago. I think things might have changed just a little bit in 25 years. It's very pretty here. Do people live above the road? Okay, if I look here, let me point. In this area, there are shops on the lower level, and there is some sort of a sign up there. Oh, where's my finger gone on the scope? Ah, there it is. Here we go. Saying that there is a synagogue there. So you might be better to ask somebody who's Jewish about that, because I'm a Christian. It's a school, okay? I'm not too familiar with all of the Jewish sites. If I continue down where this man's going, straight down there, I end up in the old markets. And going into that area is more of the Jewish quarter, and I'll go in there in a little while. Do you get butterflies? Do you is that a good feeling or is that a bad feeling? And there's some shops up the top there. A great feeling. Oh good, I'm glad it's a great feeling. Where am I from? I'm from Australia, and I'm visiting Israel for the months of April and May. If you missed my scopes during April, look out for a YouTube channel under the name of Friendly Oz and you'll find them there. Yeah, the birds are chirping away. They're all in the trees up here. Isn't that pretty? You are welcome. So this is a good site, I think. You're welcome. It's nice being able to share. I know how much I appreciate all the scopes from Israel, and so it's nice to be able to share a few. I'll show you where are we? We're in the Jewish quarter of the old city of Jerusalem. We're looking at the Cardo, which dates back to Byzantine Roman times. And I'll show you the sign in just a moment. There are modern shops through the tunnel. Yes, there's also more Roman remains in places. What kind of stone? I'd say it's a mix. The ones, have I been to St. Catherine's? No, that sounds like a Catholic site. I'm not so familiar with Catholic sites, but I'll scope what I know about, okay? Here we go, Western Cardo. And what it says, remains of a magnificent main road from the Roman Byzantine period, serving through time until today as a major thoroughfare for shopping. The pink is Jerusalem limestone. Yeah, it's sort of a yellow, sort of gold colour, isn't it? I don't know why you're saying jump, but quite frankly, it's a little bit pathetic. Bye-bye. Is it? I didn't know that, but they're pretty big anyway, the Cardos. And the little arch section where the shops used to be, there used to be arches all the way along. And today, in the section down there, there are shops using similar areas down there. Some of them quite pricey in the Jewish end, this end, but they're very, very nice shops. Yeah, it is sad to see the trolls. Well, I might just walk around here a little bit just to show you what else is here while I'm here. There is millstone just across there. And I'm about to go through into the rest of the Jewish quarter, so you might enjoy that. Am I visiting? The big stone is a millstone used for grinding in back in Roman times. And I'll take you into Hertha Square because that's nice there too. Well, we could actually look in some windows on the way. There's always some interesting things in the windows that we don't see in other countries. These are the two handheld cups. Plate for Passover. Yes, I like that area too. Some things for Passover. A little bit of reflection here. I don't think that one shows up so well. Go up on top of the Hertha. I'm not going up there this time. I have been on top of the Hertha. If anybody does come, it's well worth doing a tour of the Hertha synagogue, which we're about to look at in just a second when I turn the corner here and get away from this car, and I'll show you the Hertha synagogue. Here we go. Yes, I know. I've been up there. It's fantastic up there. A good view of the of this area. Let me turn it sideways. Which way do we go? That way, I think we go. There we go. There. That's a good screenshot, I reckon. If anybody wants a screenshot. That's the Hertha synagogue. The word Hertha has a meaning. It means ruin. Well, that's the thing. This is called the Hertha, the ruin synagogue, because it's been pulled down by the Arabs every time they've had a chance to pull it down. And this was actually completed in 2010, just before I arrived on our trip then. So I saw it just as it was just about finished. No, that's a synagogue. It's built on the same plan that the previous synagogue that got destroyed by the Arabs. And it's very, very lovely inside. So if ever you come, do a tour of it, because they've found some things underneath that are really quite interesting, dating back to Second Temple period times. So it's an interesting place to be. When was the original? Oh, look, I tell you what, to be more accurate, have a look on the internet, because I'm not a tour guide, I'm a tourist. We need someone like Aaron to tell us all the details like that. I can tell you what I know, but I can't tell you what I can't remember. Will you be filming over the next week? I'll be filming over the next 3 weeks. We're in Israel for another 3 weeks. If you've missed my previous scopes, they're in YouTube under the name of Friendly Oz. Okay, and there's a link to my YouTube channel on my Periscope account. Okay, so look on my profile and you'll see the link. Okay, I might just turn it back the other way, because it's easier when walking to turn it this way. Well, just around here, there's a big scorpion, and I'm going to wait for a truck to go by and we'll get run over. There's a nice big square here. It's a good meeting place for people in here. If you want to meet up with somebody again, this is a very good location, because there's places to find a little bit of shade to sit in the sun. Oh, I love the Shorashim shop. I've been there, we go there every time, and I always buy from Shorashim. I'll show you what the music is in just a second. And there's little places to buy lunch here. Normal crowds for this time of day. Well, I've been here over Passover and seen a lot more, but I'm not seeing too many tour groups. Yeah, I think it's pretty quiet, really. This is a nice big square to be in. Oh, again, I've got to move. There's vehicles coming through this little bit. There's not many places you can get through with a vehicle in the old city, but this section is one that you can. Oh yes, there may be some special things going on for Remembrance Day, and I'm not too familiar with all the things that are going on here, so we scope the things we know about, don't we? I know that Aaron and LEG scoped some of the remembrance things earlier on. Oh, all the 10 o'clock when everything closed down and all the cars stopped. I think they scoped that earlier. I haven't seen it yet, but I noticed they were broadcasting then. And somewhere, hiding in this square, I've got to locate my husband. Pizza everywhere. Yes, there's pizza everywhere. I reckon this would make a nice shot of the herba too. Oh, I can't get the flowers in as well. I thought I might be able to get the flowers in as well. Scope is crystal clear. Good. It probably because there's a little bit of distance between the walls here. It's not easy scoping in the old city. The walls are very high and some of them are old and very thick. So I'll head down here. I'll head towards the Shorashim shop and see what I can see in the window. I don't suppose people approve of you scoping into inside their shops, but it is one of my favourite shops. Anybody for some barbecue? Yes, I'm inside the old city in the Jewish quarter. And from here, the way to the Temple Mount is in that direction. Yes, it's safe. We're not concerned, and as tourists with cameras around our neck, we're not a target at all. So it's very safe here. I love the bougainvillea here. Look at this. Isn't it just beautiful? Absolutely gorgeous. Well, there's not a lot in the window here. Some things from Roman times. This is the Shorashim shop, by the way. Look, have a look at their website, shorashim.com, and look for the website, because they do biblical jewellery here, and I always go back with some. There's a little bit there, but I think it's in the shade. And Shorashim is a shop, it's a Jewish shop, and they aim to allow people to come away with souvenirs that are all biblical in nature. So here's some pictures of the jewellery. You can see, let me turn it sideways, hold on, that way. They're an example of ladies' pendants. The Harp of David, the Tree of Life, and the Silver Shofar. I think I bought the Harp of David once before. And some rings. You want a mezuzah necklace? Yes, I think that Nico's is just a little bit unique, isn't it? You've probably seen Nico's. Let's turn it back this way. Look in the entrance. The person who runs the bookshop there, let me just come away and sit down a minute. The person who runs the shop there is called Moshe can't pronounce it, Kempinski, I think his name is. I believe he actually teaches at one of the yeshivas here, and he gives very, very interesting talks to tourists. And on one of the tours that we've done here, he gave a Christian tour. We all went into his shop. The shop was closed for a little while, and he gave us a very interesting talk explaining differences in what Jewish people, the way they think and the way Christians think, and different aspects of life. And we could ask him any question we liked. Didn't matter. He wasn't somebody that would get offended if we didn't know anything about what they believed. And yes, his talks are just so interesting. And sometimes, you know, when you're in a different culture, when you're Christian in a culture that's Jewish or Muslim or something, you're never sure whether you can ask questions or not. But he made it clear we can ask what we like. You're longing for the Mount of Olives in this day of ascension? Yeah. Where am I? I'm sitting in Herder Square in the Jewish quarter of the old city of Jerusalem. Okay, so I'm in a bit of shade here, so I can see your comments very nicely. But it's pretty here, and you can still hear the music coming from the other side. Now, I'm supposed to meet my husband here, and I can't see him here anywhere, so I don't know where he's disappeared to. Solange, we sat down for quite a bit. My back's not playing. My back is playing up quite a lot. I'm okay for a while. If I get too sore, I'll get a taxi back afterwards. But yeah, we're doing. You're looking at me. I am. I don't see you. My husband can see me and I can't see him. Of course, he's on the scope. Hi from Manchester, England. Oh, hello, Manchester. My mum's from Manchester. She's passed away now, but that's where she came from, where she was born. Come on over. Love my accent. My accent is originally English. but I've lived in Australia for 40 years. So, yeah. You'll come over when I'm done. Okay, my husband's going to reveal himself once I'm done. I tell you what, beautiful Oz, I was thinking of walking towards the Temple Mount area, so you could follow me down there if you like. Yes, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. Oh look, you're welcome. Whereabouts in Manchester? I still have relatives in Salford. The one writing Al Keats. Do you want to see the mosque as well? As long as you're nice, you can stay and watch all my scopes. And I've scoped all kinds of sites. I've scoped a mosque. No, I don't live in Israel. I live in Australia, and I'm visiting here. I've been scoping for the last month here in Israel, and I will be scoping for the next 3 weeks around the Jerusalem area and going into the Palestinian Authority area at least on one day. Yeah, that's right, free vacation. Yes, free Israel from all the anti-Semitic people. Yes, we're blessed, but we're here. We've stretched it to being as long as we can. We're self-catering to cut down costs, and because I don't walk too well, we've stretched it as long as possible, because it takes me twice as long to see places as it does people who are fit. But I think that because I walk slowly, don't need to go to the Palestinian Authority. Waste of time. You evidently haven't been. I've been to Nablus. I've been to Jericho. I've been to Bethlehem. I've been to Hebron, to both areas. Did I walk on the walls of the old city of Jerusalem? I did one section 4 years ago. I couldn't do it now. I physically couldn't manage it. So I would absolutely love to do it, but I would end up in so much pain at the end of it. It's not worth it. So I look at the walls and just enjoy seeing other people do things like that. So I think my husband, who is watching my scope, will follow me in a little while. So I'm going to head down through the Jewish quarter towards the Temple Mount. Oh, and I just remembered something else that you would love to see on the way. So I'll see if I can find it. Let me think. Which way? I haven't been here for 2 years. I've got to remember where things are. Maybe it's up this street. Maybe it's up this street. But if I can find it, I think you will love what I've got to show you here. Oh, thank you. Oh, look at the bougainvilleas here. Aren't they just gorgeous? Oh. Is this the way? Yes, this is the way. Okay, I've remembered right. I've remembered right. Isn't it? Now, isn't there a prophecy about children playing safely on the streets of Jerusalem again? I can't remember the exact wording, but I'm sure somebody will know it somewhere. Yes. Now, what I'm going to show you, I think, is absolutely, totally mind-blowing. How many of you know Old Testament, Torah? Because what you're looking at here is the broad wall. Oh, if I can get through there. That wall there is from the time of Nehemiah. Old Testament. The broad wall. You know that spot? Yes. I'll see if I can find the explanation just up here. Hold on. Here we go. This wall was built over 2,600 years ago. It was part of the wall surrounding Jerusalem's western hill during the reign of King Hezekiah, end of the 8th century BCE. The 7-meter wide wall was excavated for a period of 65 meters. Perhaps this is the wall Isaiah refers to, and you have numbered the houses of Jerusalem and the houses you have broken down to fortify the wall. Zechariah 8. Okay, that one says, it's talking about Isaiah 22:10 on there. Hang on, and I'll walk around the other side and we can just see it from a different angle. Oh, there's a map down there too. Just hold on. Just let me walk through here. Let's hope I don't lose you here. No. Okay. Let's see if I can put this through the rail without dropping it. There's actually a bit of a map there, but I don't know how well you can read it. Jerusalem in the first temple period. This is 1000 to 586 BC. And you can see street level. There's a sign down. Where's my finger on the scope? Here we go. There, that says street level. And if we go right up here to the sign on the wall, right up there, it says estimated height of wall. Now that's a defence wall, isn't it? That 7 foot wide wall that goes that high up. Pretty good, I reckon. So the wall, yeah, the Bible's real history. People don't realise that. Hi Solange. We're looking at the broad wall. Amazing, isn't it? Old Testament history coming to life right before our eyes. Lost me for a second. Okay, I went under I'll show you what I went under. I went under that. So I might lose you for a second going back that way as well. And again, look, the streets of Jerusalem with children playing in. Some ask about quarters. Oh, okay, the quarters. There are 4 quarters in Jerusalem, but they're not equal size. Officially, they are called the Jewish quarter, the Armenian quarter, the Christian quarter, and the Muslim quarter. But they're not equal in size, and just because they have those names doesn't mean to say that there aren't Jewish people living in the Muslim quarter, and Christians living in the Armenian quarter, and Armenians living and having shops in the other quarter. It's complicated, but that's the name of the quarters because they are predominantly of those religions in those areas. Okay? Okay, well look, I might lose you just for a second going back through the tunnel here, and then I'll walk down towards the Temple Mount. Yes, there are Jews in the Muslim quarter, and I understand. Hang on, let me get through this tunnel. Just make sure I'm through there before I answer your question, in case we lose you again. There are actually some synagogues in the Muslim quarter. Old ones, very old ones. No, unfortunately, it's not such a safe area there. Does everyone speak English, or is it Hebrew only? A lot of people speak English. If you're frightened of coming here and people not understanding you, don't be. We didn't speak a word when we first came. We've been learning Hebrew with Miko on Periscope, and it's helped us this time. But to be honest, we've got along really well. You don't need to speak Hebrew to come here. Isn't it pretty with the flowers? Is it difficult to learn the money system? No. It's just like any other money system. Roughly it's 3, if you're in America, it's roughly 3 shekels to the dollar, or 4 shekels to the dollar, depending on how the rate of exchange is at any given time. Listen, we're safe. I'm not concerned. People are not out for tourists. I have my trusty camera, where is it? Round my neck. And I look like a tourist. Can I show you what a shekel looks like? Look, it's tucked away in my bag at the moment. Maybe I'll find some. Oh, hang on. My husband's found some. Hold on. 1 shekel. There you go. What's it do? There you go. That's 1 shekel. I've got a tour group going past us.
Okay.
How far are you from the Muslim quarter? Not very far at all. They're all. It's the whole of the old city of Jerusalem is very, very small. You were there to sell. You were told not to go into the old city. Oh well, that's a bit sad. That's a bit sad. I don't agree with the advice you were given, but there we go. Aren't they just? Beautiful trees. Here we are back in the Herver Square. Yes, there was a tourist group. If you're scared to come in just by yourself like we have, I think a tour group is fantastic. We've done 3 Christian tours and travelled independently here. And the tours were fantastic, and the advantage of doing a tour is that you get a guided experience at every site you go to, so you're not left doing all the reading up for yourself like you are when you're travelling by yourself. Yes, I've done it. You're going in there. Oh, I'm going to go down this way, okay? My husband's parting from me. We'll catch up with each other later. But as long as I've got a signal, just let me know that you're still getting a signal, and I'll just keep walking. We might be able to see in the shop window, actually. It's always interesting looking at different shop windows. You were here on the street just a few months ago, yes. Yes. Lots of places to get coffee, of course.
Store.
A bank to get your money from. Let's shop. Yeah, that's right. Well, I don't think it's not as busy as when I've been here on previous years, actually. But it may just be the time of day, and I've been here over Passover and Passover week's over, so it's a little bit quieter. Oh, sorry, I missed that question. I think it was something about coffee, but it's getting bright here. Yeah, coffee's good here. I have learned to ask for, now let me try to pronounce it, Stein Kaffee Hafuch Gadol. That means 2 upside down coffees, large. And an upside down coffee is pretty much equivalent to a cappuccino. Don't ask me why it's called upside down. It was explained to me at one time, but it's a bit beyond me. But I know I get a nice coffee if I ask for that, so that's what I ask for. Now again, I think the signal might glitch when I go through this tunnel up here, so just hang in there and I'll be out the other side within a couple of seconds. Anybody for a shawarma? How do I get around? There's no subway here. There are taxis, there's light rail. Near where I'm staying, there's a light rail that'll bring me down to within Kui of the city. And sometimes I use taxis because if I'm not too close to the light rail, I live with constant pain. So if I get too sore, I go to taxi. Now hold on, and I won't talk till I'm through these arches. once I'm down these steps, I'll be able to talk again. There we go. We all know coffee language. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Can you buy bottled water? You can buy bottled water everywhere. Now, what are we looking at? The wall just in front of us is the remains of St Mary's Hospice of the German Knights. Let's look at the sign. It says the Order of the Teutonic Knights settled here during the Crusader period, 12th to 13th century. The order built the Church of St Mary and a hospital, which were destroyed, and St Mary's Hospice of the German Knights, whose ruins you see before you. So, a little bit of Crusader Israel, just in front of your eyes there. You're hungry now? Yeah, I tell you what, I don't do food scopes very much, and you won't find me doing food scopes because most of the food I can't eat. I'm forced to having gluten-free food, so while my husband eats all the nice little tasty stuff, I have to sit and watch it all happen. How far's the Gaza Strip? Not too sure. It's on the coast and I'm not. Okay, here. This is an interesting place and I can't take you inside, and I noticed that Aaron was not allowed to scope inside, so I'm not even going to ask. Okay, this is the Temple Institute. It is the most fascinating place to visit. I think I'm losing signal. Are you still with me, guys? Just saw a little glitch then. You're still with me? Okay. Look up the website of the Temple Institute, please, because it is fascinating. They are remaking all the items from the temple. They have got descriptions of them from the Bible, from Jewish writings, and they are remaking them in the original material, and you can read all about it on their website. So it's, I believe the website, if I remember rightly, is templeinstitute.org. Now, that's fascinating to go into because you can actually take a tour and go in there and have a look, and but unfortunately scoping in there not good. Yes, for the third temple. So it's a little bit controversial, but very, very interesting. So look, whether or not you agree with it, one day I believe it will come about, but I believe it will happen. Okay, now look, I can see Solange joining, which indicates I'm not in a very good area for signal. So let's go past the lions, and I'll head down a little bit further. This again is the Crusader building I was just talking about. So I'll head down a little bit more because there's some more interesting things down here. Now it depends on which, I don't quite know what the word is, which strain of Judaism. Those who are very conservative, yes, they will be wearing long sleeves, the ladies. Those who are less conservative wear exactly the same as you and me. Look, here's more of the Crusader building. Okay, you see the arches? I'm in the old city of Jerusalem and oh look, straight ahead of me, the Al-Aqsa Mosque. For those of you who are Muslims who are in here, that's the Al-Aqsa Mosque there. Yeah, Orthodox, that's the word. I can't think of these things on the spur of the moment. Thanks for helping me out. Yes, a Crusader building from the times of the Crusades. So I was astounded to find the number of Crusader buildings that are here. So yes. Lots of arches, and above it you can see the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and the hill at the back is the Mount of Olives, and the church on the hill, little spike there, that's the Church of the Ascension, and that building there is the oh, now what's it called? The Hotel of Seven Arches or something. What's the Gunslaws there? Look, I'm not Jewish and I don't live here, so please ask one of the Jewish people when they're scoping, okay? I can tell you what it's like as a tourist and things that are of interest to tourists, but things like local gun laws is a bit beyond me. Okay, let's head down some more steps. I'm not going to go all the way down, but there's a little bit more down here that I can reach without going all the way down. No, the Al-Aqsa Mosque is not the mosque with the gold dome. That is the Dome of the Rock. Where am I from? I'm from Australia, and I'm visiting Israel for the next for 2 months, and I have 3 weeks left to go. No, the Dome of the Rock is not a mosque. Where's the street that Jesus carried the cross? Ah, okay. There is a street called the Via Dolorosa. It's actually that actually, although it's called that, I don't believe that is the right street. It's the street that has been called that for a long time, but everything has changed dramatically since the time of Jesus, and the route of the Via Dolorosa has been changed historically over time. So if you actually get a map and find the places that now they believe are historically the places he went to, because of archaeology, you'll find that it just doesn't make sense, that route anymore. Yeah, this is lifetime. What do you mean, wow, is this a lifetime? This is me talking straight away. So that's the Crusader building that I'm just coming alongside. And we're walking down the steps from the Jewish Centre. We are going towards the Kotel, the Western Wall. We won't go all the way this time. Mainly because I've got to climb up all these steps again, and I've done enough steps today. Okay, but we are going to have a lovely view from just here in a minute. So there ahead of us is the Al-Aqsa Mosque. And just around here is an amazing thing. Oops, hang on, before someone bumps into me. Now, I told you that they were rebuilding items for the temple, and here is the golden menorah ready to be used. That what you're looking at is pure gold. It is absolutely pure gold. Let's look at the sign here. The golden menorah was recreated for the first time since the destruction of the Second Temple, according to research done by the Temple Institute. Now, there's another sign round here. Well, what does that say? Additional vessels prepared for the Holy Temple and breathtaking oil paintings on display at the Temple Institute, just 50 meters away. So go to the website, you can see them there, okay? I'll just stand back and let you have a look at the gold menorah, because I think it's absolutely amazing to see. Yes, it's worth a fortune. As you can see, it's under security. It's out in the open, in the Jewish quarter, but very, very well secured. Yeah, look, take a screenshot. You are welcome. And that's actually, the sun's at a good angle for you to get it today. Now, if we were to look past those trees, we'd be looking at the Temple Mount. So I'm going to walk down some more steps, and then that's as far as I'm going to go today. Yes, the menorah is absolutely stunning. Just hang on, I can't. Used to be a tour guide for my next job. I tell you what, I'd love to bring tours here, but I physically couldn't do it. But I can walk around slowly by myself. Here we go. Here's the... I can get in the shade over here. I'll see your comments better. That's better. slow is better. Yeah, it's actually better for periscope. And I wondered about whether I'd be able to scope, and then realised that the fact that I do walk slowly is actually an asset for periscope. That's the Al-Aqsa Mosque. And below me the security to get in. It's like, yeah, it's like airport security to get into that area. And the Mount of Olives behind, yes, and if we go across there, the gold dome is the Dome of the Rock, built over a rock that is said to be perhaps the oh, you can always send me money, I'll save it, put it towards another trip. Sounds good. Yeah, so the Gold Dome is the Dome of the Rock over the site where there is a big rock, which may perhaps be where Abraham offered Isaac, may perhaps be where the Holy of Holies was. I personally think it's just the other side of that, but that's beside the point. And yeah, beautiful, isn't it? And just the other side of the tree between me and the Dome of the Rock, you can see the Western Wall. The Mount of Olives is in the Bible. Yes, the Mount of Olives. Yeah, if anyone wants to take a screenshot, feel free. No, the Al-Aqsa Mosque isn't. It's the Dome of the Rock is believed to be the spot where the Prophet Muhammad went to heaven in a dream. Though it was a sort of a night vision. It wasn't a. He was in Mecca at the time, I think, or somewhere like that. So some sort of a dream. Hello from Brazil. So this is the Western Wall Plaza, and across here the Western Wall. The Al-Aqsa Mosque. Is the mosque not the dome? I heard it was the dome. Oh look, I'll have to read up again, Solange. Yes, over here is, they don't call it the Wailing Wall anymore, they call it the Western Wall because it's the western wall of the retaining wall of the temple. And it used to be called the Wailing Wall years and years and years ago because Jewish people were very, very upset that they could no longer pray at that place, and it was a place to pray very hard and weep for the state of that they were in. Take us to food. No, I'm not good on food scopes. Ask somebody else for food scopes. I have celiac disease and I have to eat gluten-free, so food scopes are not my thing. Okay. Why do they do the 2 minutes of silence? Okay, today is Holocaust Remembrance Day, and so they had some silence in remembrance of that. In remembrance of the 6 million Jews who were exterminated in Hitler's camps. The Al-Aqsa Mosque is directly ahead of me with the grey dome. Yeah, exactly. It's okay. Sorry, no bad language in my scopes. Yes, they did it this morning at 10 o'clock. Yes, yeah, no hate in my scopes, thanks. So there we go. Well, that sounds like the Muslim call to prayer. The Muslim call to prayer, I would say. It sounds like it. Yes, it will be over speakers, and it's probably coming either from there or from across here, or both. Mount of Olives is behind, so the Mount of Olives is, oh, where's my finger now? I've lost it. Okay. Mount of Olives is the hill at the back, behind here. Oh no, there's no wall between Jews and Muslims, not in the main part of Israel. The only wall that exists is in areas around the West Bank where there are terrorists and they come in and they do nasty things, and I can certainly, as an old chook, I can remember all the attacks that were on Israel, and the bomb attacks and the bus attacks. And building the wall was to prevent those terrorists from accessing the rest of Israel. Now the sound will be the call to the Muslims to pray. Okay, look, I can't read that fast enough to shout that. Sorry, guys. Well, what's the meaning of the wall over there? Why do Jews pray to it? Okay, this wall that you see all the way along here is the retaining wall built by Herod the Great for the Temple Mount. It is the closest place that Jewish people can get to the area where the temple used to be built, where they used to pray. So that's the area where they now pray. Oh, I'm enjoying myself. I love coming here. And you can see even down this path. Can you see down there at the bottom of the path there's some crowds down there? They're waiting to go through the security from this way. Can I pray the Shema? Oh, okay. Israel Adonai. Oh, I can't read it fast enough, sorry. I'm not very good on reading Hebrew words. What is the oldest place they know of here? What, in Israel? In the whole land? The oldest place within the whole land is actually in, I think, in Jericho, which is in the area under the Palestinian Authority. I believe it's the oldest city in the world that they are aware of. Are Israel people Muslim? There are Israeli Arabs here, yes. So not all Israelis are Jewish. Some Israelis are Muslims, some are Christians. No, the Temple Mount is not the oldest place. The oldest place, we've just looked at the broad wall on my scope. Look back in my scope and you will see the broad wall, which dates back to the time of Nehemiah. I can't think where else would be close to here. The city of Jebus, actually. No, over here. Oh, I've just got to wait for your comments to go. Where are we? Where's my finger? That's the dung gate of the city. Now, if I were to go out of the dung gate and into the area just the other side of this building, you can't see it from here. That's the area that was Jerusalem prior to David, King David, taking it. It's actually outside the current city walls, and so that time dates back to before King David, it was called Jebus originally. No, Israel is not apartheid. No, it's not someone singing, it's probably recorded these days, but it's a call to prayer from the Muslim mosques. And today, of course, you can hear the mosques, you can hear the churches, and you can hear the sound of the shofar. Depending on where you are and what time it is, you can hear all sorts of things. That's it. Solange will say the Shema for you. She's quick. She can read quicker than I can. Didn't the British bring the Jews here? Listen, there have been Jews in Israel right the way through, right since the fall of Jerusalem. If you look back through my YouTube channel, I scoped a site, I videoed it actually because I didn't get a signal. I videoed a site up in the north called Pekin. Look there, and there is a scope about a Jewish family that have lived here continually right through the time many Jews were in the diaspora. And the synagogue there is very unique. But I've actually just passed a synagogue on my way to here, where it was, the person within it was born in the old city in 1570 something or other. Yeah, but listen, learn Hebrew, it's interesting. Yes, on the Temple Mount there's apartheid. You're right. Jews and Christians can't pray there, and Jews and Christians can only go up onto the Temple Mount at very limited times of the day. Okay, guys. Well, look, I must be running out of battery by now. I would think. I haven't had a warning yet, but. No, I can't claim my ancestors lived here 1,400 years ago because I'm a Christian visiting Israel, so I don't quite know what your problem is. Okay. Well, you're welcome. I hope you enjoyed it, and follow me for the next 3 weeks and you'll find some more scopes. Okay, I'll say goodbye for today, and I'll leave you with a picture of the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the Western Wall, and where everybody's praying. God bless, bye-bye.